Hi everyone, happy Tuesday, let's get ready for school. Like I said, happy Tuesday. I'm actually running a little bit with time, so I'm just not gonna do Halo Glow today. But, I hope you guys had a great Monday. My Monday was rough. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was rough. So, there's just a lot of things happening, and just a lot happened on Monday, so it was a rough day. I'm hoping that today will be better and less drama filled, I guess. But we'll see. I'm praying and hoping because I do not want to go through that again. Because it was a thing. So, I don't know if I want to go through that 2 days in a row. But yeah, so I hope you guys had a great Tuesday, or a great Monday, and let's make it a great Tuesday. It's gonna be great because we're having soup tonight, and I'm really excited for that. Although this morning has been a little bit rough because I am running late, as you can probably tell from the fact that I'm like not doing Halo Glow like I just told you. I spent like 20 minutes. I'm over exaggerating. I don't know, longer than I should have though, for sure. Trying to find a pair of boots to go with my outfit. And the thing is like, not like I'm like, oh, it's like I need the perfect pair of boots. No. These boots were in my closet, and when I went to look for them, I only found one. Like, I couldn't find the other, which was the weirdest thing. I just was like, where's the other boot? So, like, that's what I mean when I said I was trying to find the pair of boots. Like, I don't know where the other one was, which was really weird. So, let's just try to make the most out of this Tuesday. I hope that if your Monday was also kind of iffy or icky, that you have a great Tuesday as well. That's what we are praying for and hoping for. Today is a good Tuesday because Monday was rough. But Mondays are always rough, but it was rough. For various reasons that I can't disclose, it was rough. So, I think we're just gonna move on straight into the topic of today, which was what I was talking about yesterday, and that was nonstop flight. So yesterday I was talking about Draw Me Closer, and again, I want to reiterate how much I want to reiterate how much I love this album. It's so good. I highly recommend you all go listen to it. It's so good. You maybe not listen to all songs if you don't want to, but like listen to a couple, like hear them, and then maybe you'll want to listen to the rest of the album because it is so good. I really loved it, and again, I'm not an album girly, by no means. I don't love listening to albums like that, but it was so good that I would listen to the whole album, like again, just like straight through. Again, it was like so good. It was amazing. It was interesting because people who have grown up with Drake Bell were even saying that they think that this might have been one of his, or like, I don't know if it was one of or the best work he's created. And a lot of people were comparing it to It's Only Time, which was really interesting. I didn't realize that comparison was going to be made. And it's not comparison in the typical sense either. It's like comparison in the sense where it's like they were saying it was like almost like the continuation of like It's Only Time. So they were like connecting Nonstop Flight to It's Only Time. And keep in mind, I love It's Only Time. That is such a good album. All the albums are good. Some of the songs that are not my favorite, I'm not gonna say that they're bad, I'm just gonna say they're not my favorite, are a lot of the like 2017 era, like weird era. I don't know what was going on during that time, and I'm not gonna pretend to know. But if anyone has any idea of what was happening in that era, the kind of more like risque kind of work he was doing, let me know. Or if anyone has any like speculations, let me know. Cause those songs are not my favorite. And I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out why. It's not my favorite. it's very generic, and Drake Bell is not a generic man. So, I don't know. If anyone has any ideas as to that era, let me know. But, one thing I noticed about this album is it leaned very heavily into, something I actually really like, but I know some people might not be the biggest fan of, and it leaned very heavily into upbeat songs with sad lyrics, and I personally love that in a song or in an album, because I feel like it makes you think a little bit more, because you have to kind of listen to the lyrics beyond what the, like, you have to listen to the song beyond the surface level. Because if you just listen to it, like, on the surface level, you're gonna be like, oh, this is a cute, happy-go-lucky song, you know? But if you, like, actually listen to the lyrics, you'll probably be like, oh, no, this has got, like, some actual, like, deeper meaning. And it's probably, like, a lot of the times it's something a lot, like, philosophical or, like, whatever. And I think that gets the point across really nicely. I mean, it's, like, the thing is, like, not one is better than the other, but it is different than having a sad song with sad lyrics, because you can tell that the song's sad because of the tempo of the song. But if you have, like, a fast-paced song, you would never know that the song's actually sad unless you actually stopped and listened, you know? So, that was that. Anyway, so, like, he did a lot of, like, songs that were, like, down-tempo and had, up-tempo and had, like, down-tempo lyrics. Which, I mean, is very on brand for Drake Bell, because if you listen to a lot of his songs, they have that kind of vibe. A lot of, like, newer songs. Well, when I say newer, like, not from, like, Telegraph. I think Telegraph is the one kind of exception. Telegraph is a very interesting album in the sense where it doesn't feel entirely like the other ones, in my opinion. But I don't know, that's just me. I could be wrong. But, like, I didn't think about that until, like, right now, where it's like, Telegraph is I haven't listened to the entirety of Telegraph, so keep in mind I have to listen to the entirety of Telegraph. But it has a very interesting feel. One thing I've loved about Drake Bell and his music is every song is, and I think this can go for a lot of artists as well, but I've just noticed it with Drake Bell because I've listened to, like, albums or multiple songs. Is that every album sounds different, but every song in every album also sounds different, which is something that, like, kind of keeps you on your toes, because if every song sounds the same, you kind of can predict what's gonna come next, because it's gonna sound exactly like the song that you just heard. But if you can't predict where it's gonna go next, because none of the songs sound the same, it makes it more interesting. And that's kind of like what happened with Nonstop Flight, is all the songs sounded different, so you could never predict where the song was gonna go. And I know that happens a lot with different songs, because if you were to hear the difference between, like, Somehow and In the End, and then from Somehow to Don't Preach in Telegraph, like, it's very different. Same with, like, I Know, Fool the World, Up Periscope, From Its Only Time. Like, you know, there's a lot of, like, very interesting, like, songs in that particular manner where they're all, like, different sounding. I'm just now realizing I probably could have done Halo Glow, because I just took the time, and I'm kind of running okay with time, even though I was technically running late. So I probably could have done Halo Glow, but whatever, it's fine. We'll do it tomorrow. So, I want to talk about some other songs from Nonstop Flight. I think that might be what this whole week is going to be talking about, is Nonstop Flight. So, if y'all are not interested in that, I'm sorry. But, I mean, y'all were still here. Like, y'all were still watching my videos, so. Anyway. So, like I was saying, yesterday I was talking a lot about Draw Me Closer. which, again, I found was a really interesting song. And it's getting a lot of, like, good press in the sense where I'm, like, a lot of people are saying that, like, it's one of their favorite songs on the album, which is very interesting. It's a very interesting thing. Again, like I said, with the potentiality of having these faith-based themes, I didn't know what was gonna happen with this song. But it ended up being really good. Like, and ended up being really good. It was really good. I was really excited for it. I mean, it ended up doing pretty well, is what I was trying to say. But there's a lot of good songs on this album. I don't know if I have a favorite. That's the thing that's difficult, because it's like, I have the songs that I didn't know existed, and then we have the songs that, like, we did know existed because they came out as singles, and I love the singles so much. Like, all the singles that he released before the album were so good, like, that you just, like, I can't choose between any of these things if I have a favorite song. And it's hard to have a favorite song, so if any of y'all have seen or, like, listened to Nonstop Flight and y'all have a favorite song, leave it in the comments, because I'm curious as to what y'all's favorite songs are. I also kind of wonder how many songs were actually written about, like, Drake Bell's ex. Like, I know who his ex is. I think a lot of us do, which sounds really weird. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, there was content of them when they were together. Like, they had a podcast that only did one episode, because I think then they broke up or something. It was a whole situation. But they did a little podcast together, which was really interesting, I'm not gonna lie. If you want to look at a really odd dynamic, go watch the Drake and Janet podcast. There was some weird things happening in that podcast. It was like, so it was when Drake and Janet were talking about the thing with Josh, and how he was saying he had this, like, whole big Sopranos moment, and like, that he had, like, this big Sopranos moment and was like, go apologize to my wife or else, or whatever, and that kind of, like, going along the same lines of, like, talking about how, like, Josh kept saying that they were never friends. And we kind of got another input, because we got a third party from Janet, and Janet was a lot meaner than Drake was about the situation, which I get that. And it was interesting to see the dynamic between the two and how that kind of worked out. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. So if you all want to see an interesting dynamic, I highly recommend you watch that video. So yeah, I highly recommend you watch that video if you want to see their dynamic, I guess. I don't know. It was interesting. But do I think that what was talked about was went about in the right way? No. And I think I might have talked about that before on this channel. I cannot remember. It might have been when I talked about, like, some Drake and Josh drama, but I don't recall. So if I have talked about it, I'm gonna probably talk about it a little bit tomorrow, maybe, if I haven't already talked about it. So I'm gonna try and look into that and see if I did, because I don't want to bore you guys with stuff that I had already talked about. So, I do kind of wonder how many songs were actually about her, which sounds weird. I'm just curious, because there was a good amount of songs that were, like, about a relationship, and I'm pretty sure, like, those were about, like, her. And then I think, like, some, like, one of the newer ones was, like, about, like, his new girlfriend. But I don't know. At this point, these are just assumptions, which I don't know. But there were a lot of good songs. Like, there was this one called Unity, which was very Beatles-esque, and it was really good. And it does sample a little bit of Take On Me, which is really odd. I don't know where that comes from. A lot of the songs in the beginning are really good, too. Like, in the beginning are good. Like, Extraordinary Life, Unity, Wayside. I really liked Unity and Extraordinary Life. I love the whole album. Like, the thing is like, there's particular songs that stood out to me more, and those are probably going to be the ones I talk about more, but I'm not going to stand here and say that I didn't love the entire album, because I did. But I'm not also going to stand here and say that there's songs that I liked more than others. And, like, that's the truth. Like, I did like some albums more than others. I think I will talk about the Drake and Janet podcast thing tomorrow. And if it's old news, I'm sorry. If it's like old stuff that I've already talked about, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking that it's probably going to be a little bit difficult for me to find which video I might have talked about it in. But I think I did find the video, so... But I think I can, so I'll try to find it. If I've talked about it already, I won't. But if I haven't, you're in for quite a treat tomorrow, I suppose. So, anyway, back to the song. So, there was a lot of songs that I loved. I think I pretty much loved every song. Covers included. I'm a cover person. I love covers. Like, so, I loved anything he put out. I loved all the songs. So, I'm not picky when it came to my music in that particular case. I just, was here for a good time. And it was good. And I loved it. And it was fun. And, yeah. So, I'm not going to stand here and say that I didn't like a particular song. Because I did. But there probably are going to be songs that I talk more about than others. So, Extraordinary Life is also really good, which I heard someone said, I think that's the one, that actually samples, Rusted Silhouette, which is interesting, which is from It's Only Time, so maybe that also kind of helps the connection between this album and It's Only Time. I don't know, but, it's so good. And then, again, like, all the singles we already knew about were so good, like, Hollywoodin', I Kind of Relate. Also, I Kind of Relate was a really interesting, like, song, because it's the only one that felt like itself, like, that had the, like, that feel, which was really interesting. I thought there was gonna be stuff more like I Kind of Relate, okay, that doesn't sound right. I'm trying to say this and not make it sound weird, but I feel like there's no easy way to say this. I thought there was going to be more Quiet on Set-esque music, which, not that I thought it, I was just wondering, but I think I Kind of Relate pretty much sums it up, I guess. I was like, I didn't know, because I know that, like, from what we've learned what we learned about Drake Bell through, interviews, is that writing songs is his outlet. Like that, like he doesn't write in a journal like how people do, he writes songs. So there was a lot going on, and I know Quiet on Set was happening last year, like filming of it. And so I was wondering if there was going to be anything else that kind of related, but there wasn't, so I'm glad, because I didn't know if my heart could take that. I think I would have full on, like, sobbed. I think that was a good thing. I was glad that I was also going to watch it or listen to the album on a Saturday, because I didn't want to be sobbing off my makeup. I was kind of already doing that earlier in the week because we were watching Up in my child psychology class. And if y'all know, Up is a very emotional movie. And I was trying not to, like, bawl my eyes out so I didn't, like, smear my mascara, because, like, I have this class, like, in the morning, so that would have been interesting. Okay, we'll talk more about the album tomorrow, and I will check on the Drake and Janet podcast and see if I'll check on my video and see if I did talk about that podcast or not, because I can't recall. So yeah, I'll let you know. First setting spray. Second setting spray. Okay, y'all know the drill. I'm gonna do lashes and lips off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, hey everyone, this is the final look, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a great day, have a blessed day. Jesus loves you, I love you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys.